Hey, I'm Zach Hunter, and I'm here with Josh Weigel from the film To Save a Life. We're going to talk a little bit about the film and about your character, Chris. So what made you decide to take the role of Chris?
It was someone I definitely related to. It was kind of the obvious thing for me. My age, of course, the person they had in mind, somewhat of my background. I had come out of youth work, so it was a role that I was suited for, and also a role that I really got excited about just because of who he was and what he was trying to do with his life.
What connects you to the character of Chris? I know you were a youth worker?
Yeah, I was a youth worker. I came out of high school, ended up at a church, and without ever intending on it, I ended up becoming a youth leader at the church.
A lot of guys who watch the movie, a lot of teenage guys, say that they wish they had someone like Chris in their life. Did you have someone like that growing up?
I had good parents. They took a lot of care and time in my life, but it wasn't until later, after high school, that I think I found someone who I'd call a mentor, who really kind of lived the role that I live in the film. So it was after high school, but I got so much out of that relationship that it really changed me and changed my whole perspective on mentoring relationships.
I mean, you're acting and directing and writing and pretty much involved in every aspect of film. How do you balance that with family life?
Check in with people, check in with my wife, and make sure I'm not living out of balance. You know, I think that's a big part of it, is checking in with other people.
What was one of the most emotional, one of the funniest things that happened on set that you remember?
I think one of the most amusing things was the scene with the socks and the Coke. You know,
yeah.
It's hard for that not to be, but you know, when you're a youth worker, what I loved was just being able to be ridiculous with these guys. And everybody in the room knew it, even the kids. They knew this was just goof off time, but it takes down a lot of guards.
What would you say to a kid who may be cutting or who may be hurting or considering suicide?
I guarantee you, you're not alone. I guarantee you there are so many other people who are struggling with what you're struggling with, who've lived through what you've lived through. And to believe you're alone is only going to keep you on the wrong path. So what I'd say to kids who are in those places is talk about it. Find somebody you can talk about this with, because if you can get it out, then you can deal with the reasons why you feel the way you feel.
Who would you say this film is for?
Young and old alike will relate to this film. I mean, it's something that really does deal with so many different issues from so many different perspectives that you'll find yourself enjoying it. You'll find yourself being challenged by it. You'll find yourself relating to it, and hopefully you'll find yourself being moved by it.